I was hitting the rail down the other end, so I just dropped this cabinet down a fuzz more. I'm not a very good cameraman. In last week's episode, I worked on installing the uppers as well as build out the entire lower galley cabinet.
Welcome back. My name's Jax, and I'm taking this Ford E350 cargo van and converting it into an RV.
All right, so cool. I thought I was, oops, there goes my head again. So I thought I was sort of stumped here a little bit on the build. I got a little behind on my ordering and deliveries to keep me sort of ahead of like my hypothetical timeline. I don't really want to get in a big hurry and trip over myself, which, you know, there's not too much to trip over in here, but I'd like to get, you know, the back or the front of the build, you know, more in a more completed state before I build out these bench seats. It just, you know, I got a lot more room back here to work and walk around and to have those half started and then trying to work around everything. So at any rate, I was sort of stumped. I finished up with what I was working on yesterday, which incidentally didn't video because it's a tight spot back in here, and that's working in the shower area. So what I did was I got some backer, some Hardy backer, fiber rock, underlayment, whatever you want to call it here, and I got it glued and screwed on the perimeter of the shower base. I did get this shower base installed the other day. I do have the roll-up door that's here, and there's going to be a little bit of a not a knee wall, but a partial wall up here on this side, because this is the frame of the door, so I'm gonna have to make up about that much difference. Now I did that on purpose. I didn't need a full-length door in the first place, a 4 foot wide door, and the other issue that I got is the fact that this is tilted. So I wouldn't have been able to, you know, there's one of these frames on the top and the bottom. So at some point, you know, that's gonna be, you know, in the air. So I'm gonna have to duck underneath that part. So then the other problem here is the height elevation of the door itself. So here's one of the frames that it's gonna connect to. Surprisingly enough, it works out. I'm not convinced, but essentially this frame is going to come into play right about there. So we need to extend this wall out to that far. But in order for me to get this the right dimension without having to cut these cross supports, I'm going to wait until I get my tile installed, until I get an accurate dimension to work from, and then we'll get this wall fitted in here and everything's squared up and ready to go and go from there. So, but today's project is going to be working on getting these tiles installed. I went with Palisade waterproof, grout-free wall tiles, the backsplash and shower and stuff like that. So I thought that would be nice, pretty easy to install, and you know, watertight, pretty heavy. The 3 boxes are pretty heavy, but and then you get the trim package. You gotta, well, of course, you gotta buy that trim package separately, but you get two angles, 2 inside and 2 outside corners, or outside ends, if you will, to work with according to whatever particular color that you went with. So that's going to be today's project. We're going to try to get this filmed as best I can, I guess. It's pretty tight and it's kind of dark back in this corner, not a lot of light. It is kind of dreary and rainy out too, so that doesn't help. The other thing I got to do is this hole is not to size. I roughed it while I installed it, and now I've got to get it cut back to the proper size of the hole. So that'll be the first thing we work on, is getting that opened up. So All right, so this stuff here is, I don't know, we're gonna try and see if I can score a break. Yeah, that'll work. Beautiful. Each shower tile was fastened with adhesive on the back and silicone caulk on all of the seams. Woo! That's not bad. Not perfect. Not perfect, but not bad. Well, par for the course that I'd run out of something. Not only did I run out of adhesive, but I am going to be one tile short in finishing the shower. One tile, I think, maybe two, but I'll need to buy 8 more because that's how they come. Can't buy just one, can't buy just two, but no, it's looking good. Got 2 of the 3 sides complete. And then we just got this short side to finish up. And then there's going to be a little short wall I got to figure out that's going to go in on the edge of the hardy board here. It'll extend out probably, I don't know, maybe a foot. But it's looking good. I'm gonna have to throw some trim up around the top edge, but that's okay. I'm not gonna fill that in. That's like a 1/2 inch of short of completely making it. So I'll just throw a piece of trim up there and call her good. It'll be fine. It'll be good. So get on the internets and order a couple more boxes, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and because I gotta order 1 box. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the same color, same kind, you know, and I'm going to use that for the backsplash on the kitchen. So I'll need a box complete, because I can get 3 across here and 2 high, so that's 6, and then on that end there, that'll be 8, depending upon how we do that. I still need to figure out where I'm going to put in my access hole like I've got here. I'm going to put another one here in the middle to cover probably 2/3 of this. We'll see how it's going to go, but at any rate, that's the plan. Get on the internet, make another order. These actually came really quick. I was really surprised. I can't believe they came this quick, but hopefully I can get them by, I don't know what today is, Thursday. I don't know, maybe. I don't know if I'll get here Monday, but maybe I'll get on the internet and we'll get them ordered right away. But for now, that's it. That's where I'm going to call it today. All right, so working on the shower area. In order to get this door to work, there was fighting with a couple of things. First of all, height was an issue. I mean, I wanted it to be as tall as I could. It's got this brace. He's got these braces that go top and bottom, and you know the door. This is going to be, you know, right about here. I got the tallest one I could get, and you know, without me being so tall, it's important that I keep things elevated. But that inhibits the problem here with the roof, the ceiling, the way it miters. So I couldn't go full width. Otherwise, this would be down here, which I guess I could have done that. But anyways, I got a 3-foot door, and now I'm going to build out this edge here so that the door can mount to. So this is just going to be a short, you know, a narrow wall to close that off. So that's what we got to do now. Before I screw and finalize that into position, I think I'm going to want to get my access door marked and cut, because right now I'm pretty tight to this wall anyways. So I want to get that cut in so I don't have to worry about how am I going to cut it in later. I can gain an extra, 3/4 of an inch of space here. Yep, I forgot. Pocket screws. So take that out of there, and that'll open that up a little bit more, so I can figure out where that's going to go. So let's mark that out and cut that access hole. Whether we have a permanent door on there or not, or a screen or whatever, we'll get to that. But I just want to cut that in so that I can have it in there. Alright, so I got the door marked out. It's about 20 inches wide, 44 inches tall, rounded off the corners. Plenty tall. That's all the taller it can be, because the roof of the truck is right there. So that's about it. That's about it. Voila, we got one door opening. Access door. That'll work. All right. Now, check to see if this trim fits in here as it's supposed to. It does seem it's a little long. Alright, so waiting for more parts, more materials to show up specifically for the shower here. I'm trying to get this buttoned in and finished up. I've got plumbing to run, which I think I'm going to put the shower handle, the spigot, and all that stuff right in that little cavity. That'll be a temporarily mounted when not in use. When in use, I'm going to have a shower head with a hose attachment that can come up over to here, and it'll need to be a fairly long, flexible hose, but that's the plan. When we're in the shower mode, we'll just move that, but otherwise it'll stow back in here. So I'm waiting for that material to show up. I've also ordered some PEX tubing and some fittings so we can run the plumbing. I decided to go with hot and cold water as opposed to just cold water. So that two lines are going to have to get ran. So in order to gain access for the plumbing, I had to open up this cab over area, which at the time of putting it in, I didn't really know where I wanted to put that or how big. But now I've got the cabinet space all set up in here. I went ahead and centered the opening in between the little wall here and the shelving, and made it quite large so you can get in here and service this area, store, have bins or whatnot. I'll have a couple of doors that'll cover that, so that'll be a nice storage space for now. So what I'm doing right now is I've just been doing some filling and some holes, and did a light sand on all the trim here, and we'll do some touch-up paint. All right, so it's an absolute horrible day today. Here I am underneath the door again, ducking. Get up here. Yeah, so it's pretty abysmal. It's like super damp and chilly, cloudy, overcast, threatening to rain. But trying to make some progress. Got a bit overwhelmed last night after sort of thinking about all the little minute processes and projects that have to happen. It's like, the bulk fit up is, fast, but now we're to a point where these little details they're gonna suck up a great deal of time, and I'm kind of overwhelmed by that, because I'm like, well, we should be able to just pop right through this, but we're not going to be able to. So one of the things I'm currently waiting on is the shower faucet, and that's going to end up going up in here in this corner, and we got to be able to route the plumbing and all that stuff through this cab over area all the way across to the other side, and then down in order to accommodate for the shower. So we're kind of waiting on the plumbing. I've got the PEX and I've got some fittings and whatnot to get started on it, but I need to get this faucet installed, and then the fittings are going to start there and work our way down to this kitchen sink cabinet here and figure out what's going to have to go in there and whatnot. But that's another project. That's a big project, because there's a water filtration, there's a water heater, and of course the drain and stuff for all the sinks. So that's what we're working on right now, is this kitchen countertop. So I've got the sink. It's a utility sink that's got a cutting board embedded in there. Took that out for now. We're gonna have to drill another hole up here for the drinking water, because I do have a water filtration system for drinking water that I'm going to install in this fan too. And then we've got the induction cooktop, and then what we've got is let's see if I can find the box. Here it is. Then down here is this cabinet, or this countertop. Is I had to buy it this length because I couldn't find anywhere that was reasonably priced that I could cut what I needed. So this piece is 18.5 inches too long to accommodate the space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to install these Butler hinges. And what this is going to be is a flip up workspace. So hopefully, I'm not sure how many of those, that's a pretty big piece. screws are pretty small, so I might end up having to put, maybe I'll put 3 on here, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I mean, I've got enough, I think. I don't know how many I ordered, but I ordered these also for the kitchen table, the segmented table. So basically what these are going to allow is this 18-inch section to flip up and lay down over top of the rest of the counter. So it'll be kind of a dual workstation. So it'll be in, an elevated platform when it's in stowed position, but still be able to work with it. But then if I need extra space to prepare food or whatever, then I can flip that down and I'll have that extra space. Now what we've got to do is keep this induction cooker over far enough so that lays down and it doesn't interfere. So I've got it marked right here where that's going to be the edge of where this 18-inch piece section will fold over to. So I'm just going to split the difference between this inside edge and that, and we'll center that induction cooker there. So we'll have a workspace on the left of the cooker, workspace on the right of the cooker, and then a utility sink basin to accommodate the rest of the stuff. So hopefully this works out well for me. No guarantees, obviously. I like the looks of it. It fit the space, and rather deep for different types of situations. It's got a colander that sits in here also, and a rack that goes in the bottom, so it should be an all accommodating pretty good deal here. So okay, so I got the cutoff marked, got the induction marked, and I got the sink marked. So what I'm going to do now is round over this outside edge, both top and bottom, and this outside edge, top and bottom, and then I can trim that off. We'll have to take probably ½ inch off this back side to accommodate for the switch plate and the backing, the backer part of the backsplash part of the kitchen, so that doesn't interfere. And we can mark out cut these out. So that's what we'll do. Next week, I finish cutting out the countertop and install butler hinges. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and subscribe. See you next week.